right. E live. Well, at least we should be live. Everything is gone correctly. We are live, but I guess I will, as usual, check to make sure because I am not only the host of this show, I am the producer, the director, the writer, the janitor, sweeper. I do all of it. Only me. Okay, not well, yeah. It is. All right, let's see. Anybody watching that stupid debate? My God, I'm yeah. I I thought was there maybe something that was going to happen? No, it's the same old crap. It's so frustrating that we can't talk about real issues, never have real discussions about what's going on and honest discussions. Just be honest with us because we're not being told what's going on. Stuff that's actually happening in our government and what they say is happening are I mean, it's two separate worlds. They just want us angry at each other. They just want us fighting with each other. That's all they want. They don't want anything else but fighting and malcontention and everybody being mad. And, they're just pulling all this crap behind us and frustrating. Really sad. But hey, we're here. Here we are. All right. I've been told that I'm live. Of course, I can't, I got to find out for myself because I'm that damn way. My goodness. Of course, I never can find my show either. It's always, always gone. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hey, you can't see me. I look like I've got my eyes closed because I'm not looking at the camera. There's the camera. All right. Yeah, anyway. Oh, hey, Margaret. How are you? Oh, my goodness. I would listen into the debate and I'm not hearing anything different from anybody. The only thing I'm hearing is I'm hearing, just it's not really a debate. There is a lot of just Trump is bad and it's coming from all sides. It's not, they're not asking questions. And then, I mean, they've shaped this thing to make it look as bad as possible for Trump as they can. It is a 3-on-1 thing. It's pretty crazy, but I don't know what I'm looking for now. I don't know. So, I mean, but we're not, it's still the same stuff. It's just a repeat of everything. It's just crazy. Don't Till we decide as a society that we have put up with enough, probably continue. So share that. I'm just getting my screen ready. That's so just a little note, Michael. Michael, our yes, we can agree to disagree. Absolutely. But that's not good for the state. Agreeing to this, that's not good for the state. The state needs us to adamantly disagree with each other constantly and be at each other's throat. That's what they need. Yeah, God, I did see that, Margaret, and I had something saved on that, but then there's not been much detail about it. Like I can't really find, hey, Patty, I can't. I didn't see much about that. Like the FBI raided the NYPD police commissioner, and it just you don't hear about it. Like I let's see, I had saved something. I had bookmarked something here. Let me find it real quick. Bear with me. I've just been bookmarking a lot of stuff over here over the last, week or so. Stuff about Springfield, Ohio, and stuff about that. Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, here we go. I saw this blurb the other day and I saved this that the FBI has reportedly executed a search warrant, seized the cell phones of the NYPD commissioner, several high ranking officers. And then hours earlier, they had raided Mayor Adams' top officials, top aides. But I have not seen any follow up reporting about that at all. I don't know. Let's see what do we know anything? Let's see. Let's see what's do a search Mayor Oh yeah, no, please do. Mayor Adams will miss this year's 9/11 commemoration because he has COVID. Uh, and then yeah, that's it. That there's really been it just mayor's got COVID. FBI raided his, the police officers and then his top aides, but meh. So crazy that, that we used to have such a robust journalism, people would search and get the truth out, but now it's all owned. All has to be run through the corporate channels. It's just crazy. So anyway, Mr. Michael, as you know from the show and from our Friday thing, is having some health issues. So um and he's been fighting for the last 4 months with insurance to try to get a sleep apnea machine because he went and had a sleep study and they said, "Oh my God, you have some of the worst sleep apnea we've ever seen." And so they said, "You need this machine." And so they put in an order for the machine. And the medical company call them and say, "Hey, where's my machine?" And they'd be like, "And this oh cool. Yeah, I'll look those up and I'll post a link here in a little bit. That's cool." So yeah, so he argues, he says, "Hey, I need this thing. Where's this at?" "Oh, we're waiting on this paperwork." So then a month, this April, we're talking about April. "Oh, we need this paperwork from the doctor. The doctor's trying to say it's a it's a medical requirement." "Okay, fine. Where's that?" And then so we keep going and we keep going and nobody ever, nobody will call him back. And so they finally go through the process again and they say, "Oh, we don't believe that you have sleep apnea this bad. We don't believe it. There's no way that you possibly have sleep apnea that bad. So you need to go and do another sleep study so we can confirm that you have such horrible sleep apnea." This is our medical. This is where we are. This is where we are with state sponsored medical. treatments and insurance. And so, okay, well, that was in like July. The next appointment was the end of August. So he goes at the end of August and has another sleep study. And they say, yep, you have some of the worst sleep apnea on record. Your numbers are high, like the highest of the highest. And so, and that was a couple weeks ago. And so we say, so then he calls the medical place again after a week or so. Oh, we're waiting, we're waiting on the insurance to approve it. It's like, and then I'm right there with him, and he goes, that can't be. We've got to be past that because we've already done this. So, you know, uh, what's going on? He wasn't angry. He wasn't, I would have been angry, but and I mean, I can't say he wasn't angry, but he didn't, he wasn't belligerent to the person at all. He was just concerned. Like, why are we still at this part where, you know, oh, we're waiting on insurance. Well, I've gone through all the steps. And so they get all puffy with him and he's like, yeah, let's send it over to this other medical place. I'm done. Send it over to this other medical service and, provider. Then he gets a call back like 20 minutes later, and this person's berating him. So you can't talk to my staff like that, where he didn't do anything. It was ridiculous. So he still has no machine. So now he's got to go back to the beginning. Well, it it has manifested itself into a whole nother situation. And Michael is currently in the hospital. To put it blank, he is in it. A lot of it stems from his breathing. I mean, and he's having some other issues. It sounds like he's got some swelling that's going on, and that might be heart related. So we're praying and we're hoping that they can figure this out. They can get him some damn breathing things for the night. He needs one of those machines that you have a mask on at night. And so hopefully we can figure out what the hell's going on and get him back to good health. Yeah, I know exactly. It's frustrating, and he's got some other long-standing issues that they can't figure out, and it just keeps as Jody said, it feels like his body's breaking down faster than we can get doctor's appointments. It's like, what is going on, man? You're almost 50, but not quite. You got to be, got to get you back to some better health. So we had to so I had to make up a sign, and as you've seen a lot of Michael's art around here, one, he's a big Star Wars fan, and two, he likes his little sayings. He loves just his little riddles and puzzles and stuff. And so I figured, okay, we have, and as you know, that the voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, passed away yesterday, age of 93. It's a very sad day, as we see here this cool tribute from Star Wars. Thanks for everything, James, and a statement from George Lucas. I mean, as you can see, there's I just got that. Yeah. Yeah. Mark Hamill's brain. So there's one. That's cool. We were talking about this earlier where, he is Darth Vader and the Lion King. So many, so many roles that he's played. It's just such a great actor. What was this?
Let me guess. You like Star Wars.
So yeah, so this back to here. This was my sign for the door of the so I told Jody I would come over and put a sign up on the door. And so this is what I came up with this morning. Let folks know that the store is going to be closed for a few days because Jody will be teaching and small business, family run. If one of them is out, then one of them's out. I mean, so, yep. So the Empire has ordered a 4-day mourning after the passing of Lord Vader. We will be closed in observation until Saturday, also due to a magical emergency. So, and I texted that to Michael, and he really appreciated it. He's like, that is the best sign. What exactly did he say? Get you his exact quote. That is the most awesomest sign I have seen yet. Long live Lord Vader. So yeah. So and then I took him some colored pencils and or some pens and a drawing board or some paper. I went and got a couple books of drawing paper and some colored pens. And so when he's not sleeping, he can enjoy that. When I dropped him off today, he was crashed out, and I walked in and he didn't hear me, and so I'm like, I didn't want to wake him up. I mean, I figure if he's asleep, he needs to sleep. So, all right, get this. So, oh, all right, what the hell else is going on in the world? Tomorrow night we are going to have a special guest, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be basically the first real interview that we've done on the channel. And it just so happens it is one of my best friends. Hey, fun how that works out. Oh, and what we're going to talk about is a document that he's put together. And bring this up real quick and just give you a little sneak preview of tomorrow. So my friend is a big IT person, and he's been involved in computers for his entire life. And he was thinking that, as a digital society, which we are now, we don't have so as a society right now, the ball is in basically the corporation's court, right? Like they have all of the power when it comes to our digital identity. And so what he has come up with is the Bill of Digital Rights. And it is, and I'll just read the first sentence and then we'll go on because I want to really get into this tomorrow. But the Bill of Digital Rights is documented enshrining protections for the digital persona in the use and advancement of technology in our global culture and society. So this is basically the, the digital Bill of Rights, like how your information should be used, what kind of rights that we should have over our digital information, and how corporations who control our information and our data should have to act. So it's a very cool concept. And so I'm going to bring him in tomorrow night. We're going to sit down together and talk about it. And it should be a lot of fun because I like talking to Scott. And like I said, who better to do your first interview on a channel than somebody that you've known all of your adult life? I basically have known Scott since I was just I was 20 years old when we met. And so that was a little while ago, I would say, just a little bit. But yeah, so that'll be cool. And I'm gonna cut that up. I'm gonna, we'll have a long form interview tomorrow, and then I'll probably cut some of that up and make a video out of it so I can post that online. But yeah. So I saw this story. Well, back in the day, at the beginning of the internet, there used to be a um like, at the beginning there were like forums and stuff. Yes, your husband does count. um, you know, before we had like Facebook where you could have Facebook groups and stuff, you had like forums. And there used to be a thing called journalist, right? And so journalists that through, a lot of the media would get together and coordinate their stories, right? And this goes on today. And it because whenever there's some kind of story that breaks out, you always see one or two words that keep popping up. And can't I can't think of anything specific, but you know what I'm talking about. When some news breaks and then all of a sudden the same word or the same phrase just keeps popping up over and over and over and over again from different media outlets and whatnot. And so they get together and they coordinate their their stories. And so Gabe Kaminsky, who is a reporter for the DC Examiner, is outside of the mainstream media, has been doing a lot of reporting, and there's some lawsuits that are coming up here, and I'm gonna look at that in a little bit. I need to dig into it a little more, but so State Department, joined by the likes of the Poynter Institute, Clemson University, Disinfo professor Kate Starbird, and Snopes have secretly coordinated on a fake news listserv targeting conservative media. And so basically, our government, along with other, members of the public, members of academia, and then Snopes have decided that there's some things that just need to be silenced. There's some things that just need to not, you can't even talk about it. And So this was an email. I want to draw your attention. Hello, friends. I'm not sure if she's sending this. Oh, so this was the fake news at Google Groups. So they had this fake news Google Groups thing. Want to draw your attention to job openings for postdoctoral scholars at the UW Center for an Informed Public. We're looking to hire 2-3 postdocs for the coming year to support our existing work and initiate new projects to help understand and address myths and my favorite 2 words in the whole English language, myths and disinformation in the areas of democracy, climate, and health. One position is dedicated to our rapid response collaborations to conduct ethnographic research that informs the design of tools, systems to support those collaborations. Other positions are more flexible in terms of interest area. Please help us. So they're looking for people to get into their fake news spotting things. In one example, 2021 personnel from the State Department funded the National Endowment for Democracy. And Snopes founder David Mickelson took aim at Daily Caller, with Mickelson trying to determine its funder. So, if on the other hand, you have to really ask yourself if you want to be featured on a website with a history of this, Snope headlines. And so these folks just, these in cahoots with their government are deciding what is fake, what isn't. And so, I mean, this is BUM. This is our agency. This is the Bureau Undermining Misinformation, basically. States Global Engagement Center. There's so many of these things too, spread throughout our states or our government. There's so many of these little agencies that are just completely out there. So States Global Engagement Center has been on the listserv despite its mandate, like Ned, to focus on foreign matters. So it's supposed to be focusing on foreign matters. States Global Engagement Center is supposed to be set up for global, for outside of the United States thing, but they're on here too. And so the House is looking at it. Basically, they're funding these groups when they shouldn't be. We shouldn't be giving money to partisan groups. I mean, that's just not what we need to do. So, and Matt Taibbi, who I can, just somebody that, they love to call him like this right wing freak, but he's not. Matt Taibbi has been he's very much kind of a center type of person. But anyway, he makes a good point. So if the Pentagon or the State Department was paying agencies to downrank sites like Mother Jones or Salon, people would be pissed off. But instead, they're going out and they're calling that these other organizations are risky and telling advertisers that they should avoid them. Like Reason Magazine, one of the, very libertarian publication. Nope, that's there. We can't have that kind of thought around here. You can't be thinking like that. You have to think like we want you to think. So I need to dig in more to the lawsuit. I want to kind of read this lawsuit against by Consortium News involving NewsGuard, because NewsGuard is that's one of the enforcement things that they have. And so, I love the whole misinformation or disinformation because you don't think like we think. Just crazy. Drives me nuts. The whole reason I started this thing. Oh my goodness. And then we have folks like the World Economic Forum, the Davos. Have you guys ever heard of Davos? Davos is like it's basically a group. It's funded by the World Economic Forum, the WEF. It's a meeting in Switzerland. Here's the definition of it from the Cambridge Dictionary. A town in Switzerland where the World Economic Forum is usually held every year. WF is a meeting for discussions between business people, economists, and politicians. So basically, the people that think they run the world and pretty much do. So you get the heads of state, you get the heads of industry, get people like Bill Gates together, and they all get to come up with how they're going to, they all fly in there with their private jets, and then they talk about they talk about how climate change is killing everybody. And I mean, the last year's one was great. The World Economic Forum annual meeting 2024, and it was all about there was a whole rebuilding trust. Please, we want you to trust us. We would never do anything to harm you. We just shut down your entire civilization for a year or so and told everybody that they couldn't get together, and told people that you can't even go to a funeral, but please trust us. We love you. So yeah, one of the first videos we did on our channel was a video making fun of Davos, actually. And I'm going to have to go there. And you guys should check it out because it was a good video. Here we go. Videos. We got a lot of videos on this damn thing now. But yeah, it was like a 10-minute video too. I mean, it was freaking long as hell. But yeah, it was when I had this long ass beard.
Hi, can I help you?
Look at that beard.
Yeah,
that's freaking nuts. And I basically said I was a brand new billionaire, and it was my first time at Davos, and Jody explained what was going to happen. And
Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, they needed some blood to get me in there.
Equalizing. What?
Today is on Friday and then Saturday.
And yeah, so check it out sometime. It's a really fun video. But yeah, so now we get Mr. So the reason I brought that up is because this dude right here, Mr. Harari. Don't tell me what to do. Please go watch our video if you get a chance. But Mr. Harari says that social media company owners like Elon Musk should be liable if their algorithms push unreliable content. So if you, as a owner, if your site pushes something that somebody else has put in there,
but the basic message
should
is
be held
you have
liable.
to
So let's
take
see what he says.
responsibility for the actions of your algorithms. You know, especially when it comes to social media, they always try to protect themselves by appealing to freedom of speech that we don't want to censor our users. And I agree, we should be very, very careful about censoring human users.
Okay. Well, at least he agrees that we should, not just censor people. So at least, he's thinking that, we should watch who we censor. So
But the
that's
companies need to take responsibility for their algorithms.
And you write about this idea that you believe that the companies need to have true liability.
Yes.
For the algorithm itself.
Whoa. True liability. Not just some liability, not just nope. Gotta be true liability. Oh, I know. I know. He is
this liability debate, as you know, in the social media landscape, Section 230, for a very, very long time. And
we're going to get to Section 230 here soon, too.
So social media has not been liable for either the content itself.
Because it muddies the water. Whenever you raise the issue, they go to freedom of speech. We are not responsible for what our users say, and
that's exactly right.
We don't want to censor them, and I generally agree. But, it's basically like, the editor of the New York Times. If he or she publishes something on the front page, they can't say that I'm not responsible for my choice to put it on the first page. What we should say to Twitter and Facebook and so forth, you're not responsible for what your users are writing. But if your algorithms decide to promote, to disseminate
But what happens if your algorithm is writing it? Mm-hmm. If the algorithm is writing
then you're definitely...
Oh, wow. I hadn't pre-watched this conversation. That just got dumb as hell. What? That just got stupid. This went from preposterously anti-freedom of speech to completely stupid. All right, let's listen to that again.
To promote, to disseminate.
But what happens if your algorithm is writing it? Mm-hmm. If the algorithm is writing
then you're definitely liable.
I know there's AI. AI is out there. We've seen it. We saw a congressman get pretty upset today over some AI stuff, which we might take a peek at in a few minutes, which was pretty damn funny. But algorithms don't write things. That got dumb really quick.
For what your algorithm is writing.
Where do you land on somebody like Elon Musk, who's made the argument and bought Twitter with this idea that information should be free and that information not only should be free, but will inform and help a thriving democracy?
Information isn't truth. Most information in the world is junk. Most information is lies and fantasies and fictions.
But you need us to tell you what is not.
The truth is a rare and costly and complicated kind of information.
But do we want the fantasy then? Or should fantasy be allowed?
Yes, it should be legal. I mean, we're not saying ban it. But if you think that you just flood the world with information and the truth will float up, no, it will sink. This is why you need institutions like...
Oh, yes, these institutions that have never done us
newspapers,
wrong, right?
Like universities, like courts, who specialize in sifting through. As the manager of a major media company that decides where the attention of the public goes, you have a responsibility to know how to tell the difference between...
Yeah, like the story we started off with the New York people, the police commissioner in New York He is correct. He just said something right there. I don't even think he really meant it. But they decide
goes, you have a responsibility to know how to tell the difference between reliable and unreliable information.
You layer AI on top of it and it gets a lot.
Decides what the manager of a major media company that decides what the attention of the public goes.
The manager of the media company decides where the attention of the public goes. He is absolutely 100% correct. Most of the time, stories that they don't want you to know will not get any publication whatsoever. Or if a story all of a sudden breaks their narrative, it goes away. It gets buried really quick. And it goes back to that listserv, the journalist. These folks coordinate this thing. They rely on each other.
You have a responsibility to know how to tell the difference between reliable and unreliable information.
You layer AI on top of it and it gets a lot more complicated. Yuval, the book is called Nexus. It is at the center of everything, and we.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head. Correct. Democracy bad. We need to tell you exactly what you need to know. Like, you know, we have, it's so cool to be a part of where we're at right now, where we have, you know, we have the power to reach so many people. And I mean, I'll admit there's a bunch of crap. Like if you just scroll through X, there is a bunch of crap on there. Not gonna lie, but a lot of people, you can usually tell what's crap and what's not. So, I guess there's a new, and I haven't really seen it, but from James O'Keefe, the O'Keefe Media Group. Now that's one guy that has taken a beating over the years, and he's done, you know, I mean, they even kicked him out of his own original company. But so this person that most recently they got is Google's growth strategist and ad salesman. So this is Dakota Leeser. And let's see, yeah, I want to watch the whole thing, but bear with me here. Okay, so this guy, Dakota, and I didn't get a chance to watch this because, you know, I worked all day, but this kind of just shows you what we're up against, what really happens. So Google growth strategist exposes Google search engine manipulation for Kamala Harris campaign. Like the 230 protection that they talked about is the Digital Rights Act, or basically the protections that social media companies have in order to not get sued because of what people on the outside share. Like he was talking about, like they shouldn't be held liable for what people post, right? And that's what Section 230 you really should get on X. It's a whole different world out there. It's a different place. like I said, there's a lot of crap, but if you want to, if something is happening in the world, X is going to be the place where you're going to find live feeds of it. You're going to find people talking about it right away. It is an amazing place. It's section 230. Let's just look that up real quick. So it's and let's see. Section 230. Close up a little bit. All right. The internet allows people everywhere to connect, share ideas, advocate for change without needing immense resources or technical expertise. That's why U.S. Congress passed a law, Section 230, originally part of the Communications Decency Act. Yeah. Anyway, that protects Americans' freedom of expression online by protecting the intermediaries we all rely on. So they're saying it's protecting us by protecting the people who run the platforms. Section 230 embodies that principle that we should all be responsible for our own actions, statement online, but generally not those of others. The law prevents most civil suits against users or services that based on what others say. So basically, it protects these institutions, these businesses, from a lot of civil suits. For more than 25 years, Section 230 has protected us all, small blogs and websites, big platforms, and individual users. The free and open internet, as we know, couldn't exist without Section 230. Yeah. But if it gets run over, then we're not going to have it. So, okay, so let's go back to what Google's doing. So basically, it protects companies, and because if you go out and you post something that's libelous against somebody else, then you can definitely be sued for it, right? But you can't really you can't sue Google for what somebody writes on Google. That's basically what Section 230 says. So let me find this again. All right. So then Google was essentially promoting, and this is this guy out on a date with somebody, and this is what he is telling him. This person works for Google. This is coming directly from the source. Google is essentially promoting through its ads rhetoric that was very pro Kamala, admits Dakota Laser, a growth strategist at Google, during an undercover date with an OMG American swiper journalist. Laser, I think his name should be Laser. Because why wouldn't you call yourself Laser if you had a name? Dakota Laser. My name is Laser. Reveals that Google has been actively coordinating with the Kamala Harris campaign. That is totally against Section 230. Manipulating its search engine advertisements to favor her in the 2024 election. So it seems like it was an ad from, he explains, it seems to link out to legitimate news publication sites. So it seemed like it was an ad from PBS, but it was really an ad for Kamala campaign. We talked about this a few weeks ago, that they said that this was happening. And now he is admitting that this is what's happening. Laser also confesses that Google's primary objective is to generate ad revenue through fear-based content. Oh, absolutely 100%. Explaining, I think whatever demographic is most fearful is going to be most profitable. Yeah, I mean, that's what all of the algorithms are set up to. They want you to rage click, right? They want you to get your emotions up. They want you to feel emotional about these things. According to Laser, The left currently represents the most fearful demographic, which is why Google has been pushing pro-Kamala narratives for profit, explaining, I think right now the left is more fearful than the right is. Further states, it's all about share of the stock price. It's all about share of the stock price. Oh. Revealing that Google's liberal bias is not just political, but tied to financial game. Of course, it's all about the money. I think Google has a belief that one side will allow them to make more money, revealing Google's profit motives. Laser admits mirrors past media motives, including CNN technical director Charlie Chester's claim that fear sells, of course, reinforcing the roles of big tech and media in shaping the public perception through fear and bias. Yeah, so that's a tough one. So, I mean, if you make libelous statements, then anybody can be sued for it. What they would have to do is identify you, right? And it would have to identify you, but two, it would have to be, in order to have libel and in order to have a suit, you have to have damages. So and I don't know how damaging a statement on, just a comment on a YouTube channel makes. Now, if you make a comment on a YouTube channel that says that this person has done this horrible crime, right? Let's say you go and you say that popular movie director, assaulted me, and it gets picked up by CBS, and then it gets picked up by the world media, and then it gets put out there, and that director loses a movie that he's about to shoot. Technically, if they can find you, then yes, you could potentially, but that's a far-fetched thing. So, well, technically, yes, you probably could be sued for it. It's going to take a lot because you have to have real damages, and that's the biggest thing. I want to do something soon because the Karen Reed thing, if you follow it and you follow some of the characters and the personalities that go back and forth online constantly with each other, they're all threatening to sue each other under, oh my God, you're libeling me. Oh my God, I'm going to sue you. It's so funny to see how many threats of lawsuits are put out there on a daily basis because of Karen. There's an entire industry around that case. There is an entire industry about that case, and it's fine because there should be attention on that case until it's completely dropped. But man, these people are still going at it. It is, and the thing's not over. So, but yeah, it's funny how they constantly try it. So let's watch just a little bit of this, and you could watch the whole thing at James O'Keefe or at O'Keefe Media Group.
Google was essentially promoting through its ads like rhetoric that was very like pro Kamala, and like it seemed to link out to like legitimate like news publication sites. So it like seemed like it was an ad from PBS, but it was really an ad for the Kamala campaign or whatever.
These guys get these people to talk so easily.
Strategist.
Oh, his name is Dakota Laser. My name, Dakota Laser.
And ad salesman at Google. Dakota Laser goes on to say they're, quote, reorienting.
Oh, he said Laser. Oh, man. I want it to be Dakota Laser.
The search engine to favor Kamala Harris.
But it's like you go to Google, they're reorienting the search engine such that Kamala is more, favored.
That is absolutely 100% not in the spirit of Section 230, the law. Yes. So and the reason is because they're saying that you're not the publisher, you're not the and this goes beyond like the whole being able to sue and there is real damages if you're going to make your entire search engine favorable to one political candidate, then you absolutely have a case because Google is the largest thing in the entire world. I called out a creator as a scam artist for losing money to pay her legal bills. I've been slammed all week and now she is her. Oh, really? Oh. That is interesting. I still think you're okay. I mean, obviously there's not going to be any real damages there. And, criticism or that is 100% completely legal. So yeah, I mean, there's so much of that. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about too. Is it the case that Andrea is covering?
This book, I feel like, is promoting, content that is favorable towards her. A lot of the AI stuff that's sort of like proliferating right now is doing so in a way that's like generally favorable to her.
Dakota Lee.
So didn't we just hear from the people on the last thing about AI and how you can use AI to push somebody in one way or another and people should be liable for that?
Laser growth strategist at Google reveals that, quote, Google is a very progressive company, unquote. He admits that, quote, Google will allow a belief that one side will allow them to make more money.
I mean, Google's a very liberal, progressive company. If they have a belief that one side will allow them to make more money, I don't think it's like, at the very, very top, I don't think it's political. I think it's like economic.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, no, it does, right? It does sound like a complete made up Hollywood name for a movie villain. Dakota Lee.
I think it's all about like the share or the stock price.
The Google growth strategist suggests
I had to cough there. That last one got me.
Ad revenue for Google.
These political headlines that are generating clicks, which generates ad revenue, it's all fueled out of hate.
Yep, I see that. I absolutely believe that.
Meet Dakota Laser, growth
Dakota Laser
strategist and ad salesman at Google. Laser disclosed controversial information to our OMG American swiper. Here he describes his position and what his job entails at Google.
I work in ad sales, sell people ads, tell them to advertise on Google. Yeah.
So you sell ads for Google?
Essentially, yeah. It's not really sales, it's more like consulting, but we're essentially trying to get them to spend more money on Google products.
Mm-hmm. So
there's like a description, then there's like a sub-headline or sub-description or whatever. And Google was essentially promoting through its ads like rhetoric that was very like pro-Kamala, and like it seemed to link out to like legitimate like news publication sites, so it like seemed like it was an ad from PBS, but it was really an ad for the Kamala campaign or whatever.
So crazy. And it's so crazy how manipulating that we're going to be. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Nope. Betty Bullhorn. Yeah. Patty's still here. She can tell you about that too. She can tell you about Miss Bullhorn as well. I have not seen that one as much. I know who you're talking about there. But yeah, so she's kind of, she is, oop, whoa, I hit myself. Yeah, she's nuts, right? She's the one that's like, she was, and then she didn't even show up to her, she didn't even show up to, her court hearing, right? For the, she had like a restraining order against her, and basically she asked for money to pay for her legal, but then didn't hire a lawyer, didn't show up to the court case. Yeah, what a, yeah, that's, she's a nutcase. Oh yeah, she should be called out, and there's a lot of people calling her out, I'm sure. Yeah, no, that's, I mean, I don't know. I guess people are just trying to be. Oh, okay. It's a protection order. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, people just, they try and be as crazy as they can to get attention. I don't know. I'm not crazy enough, I guess, to get the attention some of these folks get. Or the algorithm doesn't like me. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. I gotta. We were going to film this Saturday, but now with Michael, not. It was a scene. It was the scene with me and Michael that we were going to go film, and of course that's not going to happen. No, poor Michael. I feel bad for him. So let's see what. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this, I mean, he's absolutely right. This guy is not telling us anything we don't know. Mm-hmm. Oh, so all right. So she showed up today with her loud ass flip flop. New lawyers for the family asked for an extension to get ready for a criminal trial. She wants a jury. Oh my gosh. Did she? The OTRC hearing is tomorrow on the stalking charges. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she seems like a nutto. Oh, really? Huh? This guy don't think she's gonna win. I don't know. I don't know. Not I don't know. Yep, we know Google's a very liberal progressive company. Oh, here we go. This is a second date. They got a second date. Do you feel bad that Google's like, orienting people in one direction or another? Nah. Oh, a psyop. It all doesn't matter. We're all screwed anyway. So why don't we just let the tech billionaires decide what we get to do and what we don't get to do and what we get to think? Mm-hmm. Oh, a third date. Wow. I mean, she has to be like wearing this camera. This going to my tech geek side here. This camera has got to be like a tiny little camera. So, because you can see it's moving around. So it's got to be like a button. It's got to be like a button thing or something. And I mean, their cameras are so tiny now. Yes, Sebastian Rod. Yep. Wow. And yeah, these guys get, and so of course, they've got to get the word out. Like James O'Keefe, the O'Keefe Media Group, they're the only ones that get their word out. Nobody is going to release any of that. Fox occasionally will show a little bit of their stuff, but and of course I wasn't showing that. Damn it. When did I hide it? I didn't even remember hiding it. Oh my god, I'm so good.
Like because she appeals to those people. Like why do they want to appeal to those people? Why do they think that their ad revenue is gonna go up with those people?
I think whatever demographic is most fearful is going to be most profitable. And I think right now the left is more fearful than the right is.
Fearful of
some impending sense of doom, some like existential like American, crisis that democracy is going to end.
You might recall CNN technical director Charlie Chester said a similar thing about fear at CNN.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells.
In this video,
fear sells. Yes, it sure does. Fear sells. All know that. Sex sells, that used to be the thing, but now it's fear. Because why not? All right. Well, that's all I got tonight. I'm probably going to stop by the hospital and see how Michael is. I want to get there before they close. So tomorrow, don't forget, tell your friends, tomorrow we will be going over the Digital Bill of Rights. We're going to have the creator of the Digital Bill of Rights, and this will be his first public appearance on that. Yes, I will, Patty. I will pass that on for sure. But yeah, this will be his first, public appearance on this bill, and he's got a couple of his friends that are, one is like an activist in New York, and then he talked to like a local, local representative for his area here in Anchorage, who liked the idea as well. And so, got a couple people looking at it, but yeah, I want to get some good stuff tomorrow night, and then I'll condense it down and put together a 10-minute video on the whole thing, and then maybe some shorts. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, no, exactly. The media is just suffering. Their ratings are suffering. Nobody is, because we don't know what's real and what's not anymore. And with them coordinating and deciding on what story they're going to pick up and what narrative they're going to pick up, it's a constant thing. And, and with the government, now the government's involved in it too. I mean, it's insane. So yeah, Okay, I'm going to get out of here, go by the hospital, and then I will be here tomorrow night, same time. And we'll go through the digital bill of rights, which I think is a cool idea. And I think you're going to like it too. I think you'll like a lot of the ideas in here. So I know corporations are not going to like the ideas, but if we can get it to catch on, I think it's something that could catch on pretty quick. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night.